Now we're good. All right, a little bit of a misfire there on the start, but not to worry. Absolutely no need, team, for any coffee this morning because we got you fired up and we are ready to rock. I'm joined by H.R. Davis, the good Mr. Rodney Davis, our acting deputy PEO, for our 31st in a continuing series of PEO Aviation Town Halls. So we look forward to your questions. We look forward to getting you some updates on news we have and some ongoings around the PEO. And again, it's great to have you up here with us, Mr. Davis, and we appreciate you stepping in as Mr. Mason has initially served in an acting role, but we have some breaking news to start the update that we're very proud and excited to announce that Mr. Mason has been officially selected as our next DASA DEC, so Defense Export and Cooperation Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Army. So he'll be promoted to Tier 2 and will be in that role officially starting August 28th. We're thrilled for him. It goes without saying, I will personally miss, and of course the organization will miss, not just our personal interactions, but across the board, the leadership that he has provided over 6 years here in PEO Aviation and throughout a lifetime of service to the Army. But we are excited for the Army that they will have his services in this very important role. We will schedule a proper farewell where folks can come pass along their personal wishes to him, but we're very excited for him. You'll see him in and out around our offices, and again, if you have that opportunity to reach out to him directly, I encourage you to do that. We're very proud of everything that he has done for us. Well, what is that we got here? Well, would you look at this? Straight
right,
from
I heard you talking about me, so
we've got the good
figured I would
Mr.
come
Mason.
down, so.
Well, it's awesome to have you. What a pleasant surprise.
It is awesome to be here. I don't know what
Some
Rodney's doing in
solid
my seat.
production work there
Got your
too.
seat warmed up here. Ready to go.
Please, well, let me turn the floor over to you. It's awesome to have you. We are just, if your ears were burning, announcing your official promotion and selection as our new DASA DEC. So giddy up. We're very proud of you, brother.
Well, thanks very much, and I really appreciate just the opportunity to meet with the PEO team. Certainly over the last 5.5 to 6 years, it's just been an incredible experience. It has been an absolute honor and privilege to serve with each and every one of you. I can't begin to tell you how hard it was when this opportunity came up to leave the PEO. Certainly going out and doing something that in today's day and age with the security environment is incredibly important as we build partner capacity, as we look at strengthening allies and partners, and particularly given everything that's going on in Ukraine. Certainly something that is going to be indeed a challenge. But leaving this great team is hard, is very, very hard, and I will tell you, it is an incredibly special team. And the reason it is the mission that we go out and execute and the people that make it happen every day. And I can tell you, you are absolutely magnificent in what you go do. And it is truly just every day. In fact, I said it last night, we were talking, that every day I enjoyed coming to work. The challenges were always hard, but it was the people that made it so special. And it starts with this guy, who we get to see promoted tomorrow. His leadership that has been so instrumental, a chief of staff like Rodney, a front office that comes together. Certainly the tremendous support from Tina, which has been phenomenal over the last, I think, 4.5 years, and then out to every single one of the project offices and the headquarters staff that all come together as a team. And that's the biggest thing, is it is a team that is aligned and focused on mission success and mission outcome to benefit our Army and Army Aviation. So thanks for the opportunity to pop in here for a minute.
No doubt about it. Well, in honor of your departure, we will obviously do official gifts, but to keep with gift protocol, I have this U.S. Army cookie for you on behalf of the friends on a fixed wing that I stole this cookie from when I was in there. So again, there will be more to come, but please enjoy this.
Thank you.
And the warning was, watch your teeth on that as you eat the blood.
How appropriate, given that I have to be gluten-free. So.
And Rodney, you get this flag as a welcome as well. Flag cookie for you.
All right.
Never let it be said, there are not gifts here at PEO Aviation. So thank you for that, good sir. And again, we are so thankful for your continued service to our Army and everything you have done for us in PEO Aviation. And again, more to follow on some type of social event where we can all wish our proper farewells and best wishes to the Mason family. So around PEO Aviation, some other updates we have for you. Most recently down at Fort Rucker, as General McCurry had come on board at our Center of Excellence down at Fort Rucker, we had a home-on-home where everyone from the aviation enterprise gathered down at Fort Rucker. We had industry partners participating, as well as inside just the government, talking about our budgeting plan and all of our strategies for the program. So it was a fantastic opportunity. We had mentioned General Taylor as well, Hank Taylor, joining the team up at Damo AV. So we had the six-pack plus one organized down there at Fort Rucker. Was a great event, and we appreciate Joe McCurry hosting us for a first-class event. Farnborough as well. I don't think we've had a town hall since we were at Farnborough, but was over there with Chief and Sergeant Major, as well as the then acting DASADEC, Mr. Mason, along with the AAE, Mr. Bush, Honorable Bush, was with us. We're able to see some of our international, not just the partners, but international industry teammates as well. So great engagements there at Farnborough. We had followed that up with a trip to Amsterdam, where we signed an agreement to continue collaboration on requirements for our future systems. So great trip all around. We survived COVID challenges. It took us a few days to get back. Chief and Sergeant Major had continued to Germany to meet with units there as well. They were able to navigate some challenges with Lufthansa and strikes, but more on international travel later, but we were thankful for that opportunity. As well, we were out in Kansas, Wichita State, for those who have not been out there. We were able to meet with Senator Moran and the team at NIAR, who are doing fantastic work helping us understand the art of the possible inside a digital twin environment and how we might use that in the future, and really helping us pave the way for future efforts for advanced manufacturing, understanding where there's limitations, and really looking to push the state of the art there. It's a fantastic opportunity. Again, meet specifically with Senator Moran, who's a very strong supporter of Army aviation, and goes without saying for Wichita State as well. So thanks for hosting us out there. Great trips all around. I mentioned COVID as well earlier. Updates here in the local area. Of course, folks are familiar that we are in masks here inside our government facilities. The senior mission commander is watching the local area. It is actually at medium for a transmission rate in the area, but for all the right reasons, I think they're being cautious about how they roll out the need to no longer have a mask. So for now, we are still in masks. I want to put out a caution. I'd mentioned a little bit on international travel. There are some inside the formation that, depending on your carrier, are requiring proof of vaccination before you can go on international flights. It's a very fluid environment, but what I'd ask you to do is, before you go on travel, do that extra step, specifically with your airline. It's not a DoD policy, but the airlines are changing as COVID continues to change all around us, and will likely for the foreseeable future. So I wanted to hit that. An adaptive work environment goes without saying, right? We're going to continue that. Rodney's going to talk a little bit about some of the plans we have for meeting with the supervisors, as well as go through some of our adaptive work environment as we continue to evolve that to make sure that you all are resourced and equipped to continue execution of the mission the same way that you have. So, good sir, again, welcome aboard officially. I'll flip it over to you for some updates from your foxhole.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Happy to be here. My first town hall. I'm a few behind you guys, so
You
not
are.
really as polished as you and the good Mr. Mason.
Well, 30 in the bag, so we will certainly give you. When we get to 60, we'll come back and check this film and see how everything went.
See how I'm doing. Appreciate that. And again, congratulations to you.
Yeah,
Right, so
thank you.
tomorrow, right, he's getting promoted over at the pavilion.
Yes.
By FARA, right, so that's 0800.
0800
So,
and
team is
chicken biscuit minis.
Right.
First come, first serve. I think we got 200 of them coming. I'm told 5 platters of 40 of them. So, and then we need to make it over by 9:30 to AMCOM's change of command as well. So I appreciate you bringing
Yeah,
that up.
Sergeant Major's gonna make a call on weather this
Yes,
afternoon,
indeed.
so if something changes location, we'll put that out, right?
Perfect.
So looking forward to seeing everybody tomorrow, and I don't wanna have 100 biscuits left over for me to eat for lunch.
I'm guessing we won't have
Take
any
care of that.
biscuits
That'd be
left
great.
knowing this crap.
Yeah, I hope so. Next big thing, big news over here at 5681. So if you guys remember the flooding that we had, right? So on Monday, we're gonna start working on the drainage, right? So that's at the UAS end of the building, right? So I think you got some pictures up here and kind of see where that's located. And yeah, so a lot of us got to play Huck Finn that day. Mr. Mason's car almost drowned, but we got it out of there. So again, that's gonna come, and I think General Walker took that pretty seriously when I brought up to him the flooding that we had. So,
You'll notice proper leadership there. The PEO had already departed for the day.
yeah, he was
Before that rain
He was
started.
smarter than the rest of us. But Mr. Mason's car almost didn't make it, and we had to move a lot of barriers to get him out of the parking lot. So, but again, I appreciate the garrison taking on that challenge, and again, everybody who had the good humor that day to wade across the to the parking lot, right? So appreciate that a lot. Next thing is the AWE, right? So as the boss kind of talked about, right? We're still doing AWE. Mr. Mason and I had a chance to meet with all the supervisors, right, over time. And as we developed AWE, one of the things we kind of realized is we had a little bit of a disconnect between the situational telework and the regular telework that was on the telework agreements, right? So we're going to meet with the supervisors here at the end of August and go through that again. And I think for the adaptive work environment, the situational telework is really the best approach to telework, right? So the idea is not to change what we're doing, but it better reflect that in the telework agreements. So the telework agreements are coming up for renewal soon, so there's an opportunity to get that kind of squared away, right? So again, nothing different from the adaptive work environment perspective. It's just cleaning up our paperwork a bit. So just a reminder, on the AWE Hub, you can access the documents there, right? And that is on the SharePoint page for the PEO homepage. So again, we'll talk more about that maybe on the 1st of September, our next town hall.
Fantastic.
Are we? Nope. I'm still got one more event.
Giddy up.
Yep. So the PEO Aviation Mentoring Program.
Yes.
Right, we kicked off that again 2 weeks ago, so we had a little downturn after Pam Haley retired and through COVID. So we have 80 people being mentored this round, right? So 46 people volunteered to be mentees, or mentors,
Yes,
I'm sorry,
fantastic.
right? So really a great turnout by the leadership, and really hope that it's a good program for the people in the PEO, right? So we have a lot of people from even outside the PEO, right? Some of the AVIC employees, things like that are part of the program. So looking forward to a great event there. Really trying to help you grow your knowledge and skill base, right, to help you further your career as you see fit. So, and then the next element I want to talk about is EISD, right? One of the things we push a lot is the brown bags. So, Joe Clegg is pushing about twice a month to get with all the PMs. And so Brad Wing is the POC for a lot of this training, and Brad is excellent. I don't know if you had a chance to listen to a couple of those, but
Absolutely.
really talks well through the
Yep.
programs, right? So I sat in one on Teams the other day, and it was excellent. So again, please, give Brad topics you'd like to learn about, right? Because he's got a lot of skills, and we'd like to bring that to you to help you do your jobs better. Next thing that I know a lot of people are worried about is on our hot cubes. Right? So far, we haven't had the ability to get your phone tailored to your hot cube, right? So that's coming soon, right? So we've got to work with the PMs to get those phones identified, so we got to get them clear. But the idea is when you get to your hot cube, you log in with your computer, your CAT card, reach out and grab your information and apply it to that phone. And that's good for about 12 hours. So after 12 hours, you'll automatically be logged out of the phone, so you don't have to worry about, if you didn't log out of the phone, then you lock up the next person. So we're looking forward to that. Another thing that's going on at EISD is the Windows 10. So 21H2 update. You guys remember, I think it was 20H2 earlier last year. And we took a long time to get that done, but we need to get this one done sooner. So we're going to have that done by the end of October. Or sorry, we're going to begin that in the end of October, right? And unfortunately, if you're going to have to bring your computer in. I know sometimes that's a challenge, but the only way to get this done cleanly is to bring your computer in. So asking everybody's work with us to get that done, right? So if you have questions, you can reach out to EISD. A couple other pieces there. SharePoint 2019 migration. We're ongoing now. And that's really set us up to move to SharePoint Online. So that's another late October thing we're going to get done. So with that, the other thing Joe pushes the knowledge base articles, right?
Yes.
So he's put a lot of energy into putting, help yourself on the ISD help desk page. So before you put in a help desk ticket, see if you can solve it yourself. I mean, Joe uses that a lot, because again, we didn't pick an IT professional to lead our team at the ISD. We have Joe, who's doing a fantastic job, and he tries to make sure that he can solve his problems with those knowledge-based articles. So, so that's a great, wonderful thing. So appreciate that, Joe. So
No doubt about it. Yeah. So, and along those lines, I wanted to begin our news and recognitions with an update on that team in EISD, and specifically to some work that's recently been accomplished to help us with our authority to operate, right? The ability for our software systems to be able to operate on the network requires a ton of work for our teams to do. And EISD, very on their own, took up an initiative to help with that team see ourselves better as we develop these packages that get built and then staffed around through Netcom and in a variety of locations. The importance of that is even more heightened now as the Army transitions the way we're doing this process, where the actual CIO of the Army is going to consolidate all of these authorities to operate and become the authorizing official for all of the armies. So you can imagine all of that is dispersed not just inside program executive offices but across the Army, and all of that work is accomplished really understanding the details of how we develop systems so that they can operate safely on the network. That's all being consolidated. So all of that to say, the insight that we have now on our programs will be even more put to use. We appreciate that team, and that was Jeffrey Killian, Bradley Franklin, and Michelle Godlowski. So we appreciate that work the team did and everything the folks down in EISD do on a regular basis. Good, sir.
Right, and talking about the team at EISD, so the business team, they're being recognized, right, for the work they've done on 40 contract packages valued over more than $30 million. Right, so I think through COVID and a lot of other things that went on, they fell behind by about 3 years. So the team of Pam Webb, Greg Witt, and Cole Bodine really did a great job, getting all this work pushed through the system, right? So that's license renewals, right? So a lot of software we use, they have to at least license. It's not like we have a big consolidated buy of licenses, right? Individually, they have to go ahead and do those things, right? Network modernization, which is very important to us. The other piece of that is the backup system. We're moving that from Virginia down to Stennis, down to Mississippi, and that's really going to expand our capability to push data down there. So it's really an important thing that they've done, and we appreciate those efforts.
No doubt about it. And then moving on to utility, the team UH-60 Victor, so down in Colonel Lane's office under Colonel Swanson. So we appreciate, they just had a successful completion of our UH-60 Victor IOT&E number 2, right? So folks might recall we had an initial operational test a few years ago, and we had some challenges with it that we were able to work through, both technical challenges and some training challenges, all resolved and brought forward the system into a successful test. The data is still being culminated and collated and will be assessed from the Army, but from our mission to deliver 5 aircraft that were able to accomplish the mission, we're very proud of that work. We appreciate it, and there was, to say, an immense amount of effort to make sure we delivered on this. Still a lot of work to go. We need to get our first unit equipped, the Illinois, Georgia Army National Guard, equipped in this year, and we still plan to do that. But a fantastic milestone for that team and worthy of recognition and our collective celebration for your efforts. So thank you for that. Good, sir.
Right, moving on to another effort, right, Apache, right, a lot of support to Australia. So Australia made the decision to move to the Apache, right, so the international team down at Apache went and supported Australia and helped make them that move. So really, again, Australia is one of our closest allies, they do a lot to support us, and we're going to help them move to the Apache platform, right? So the Apache international team, led by Alex Alejo as the product manager, Gary Wiegand, Lisa Thompson, Mark Bell, Bob Frazier, Philip Cagle, Reese Makus, and Mandolin Gilbert. So we really do appreciate their efforts. Right? I know that international is a really hard thing to go do, but it's one of our things that we work on every day right here at the
No doubt about it.
right? And in fact, Mr. Mason over there really leading that charge. Right? So
No doubt
making
about
his
it.
life easier, right? The things that we do here.
Amen. Okay, and then off to FAR, another thing in our both a milestone event and an update from what the team has going on, the team down in Future Attack Reconnaissance Aircraft. Really just accomplished a significant milestone in briefing Army senior leaders on status of the competitive prototype development, and as we continue to mature the technical understanding and feasibility and attribute refinement, the team did an unbelievable amount of work collating the data, presenting objective, fact-based assessments so that as we went to senior leaders and talked about continuing to refine those attributes over time, we were able to do so with a clear picture and in an objective way present the data. So that team, of course, led by Colonel Rigney, but specifically Matt Miller, Major Matt Miller did a fantastic job, and that was Dan Suggs, Brian Height, Melanie Hart, and Jim Paxton, as well as a team, an independent team that they had brought on board, led by a group from across the enterprise, but that group led by Dave Arterburn. I mean, weekends, churning, changes, making sure we had clarity, and then the challenge always on these complex issues is boiling them down in a way and presenting them that still captures the complexity, but allows folks to interpret the results of the data. So a massive amount of work, and we salute that, and we'll need to continue that as we go forward, refining those attributes for the future attack reconnaissance aircraft. And then on to long-range assault aircraft.
Yes, sir. Right, so here we're going to talk about the FLRAA tech team, right, for the work that they've done on the competitive demonstration risk reduction effort, right? So they really had a lot of work to do, and they executed that very well, right? So they have 2 preliminary designs that they're working through, right? So they conducted those PDR reviews, over 19 subsystems they reviewed in a period of 4 months, right? And they had over 150 stakeholders on board. There was conversations, right? So very large team meetings, right? So, but they executed that flawlessly, right? They're reducing risk for that weapons system development effort that's coming next.
No doubt about it.
Really appreciate the work they do, and that is hard work.
It is, and it's probably at the top of our list of things. We anticipated significant challenges with COVID, and really through the entirety of COVID, they've been able to do these PDR events in the critical design or the competitive development and risk reduction phase.
Pro their PM and do all this work through COVID. So.
Yeah, so fantastic work both in FARA and FLRAA as it is across the entire team here in PEO Aviation. So along those lines, we've got some hails. Want to make sure we welcome. Fortunately, we don't have farewells this go around, other than the folks that were replaced. But Lieutenant Colonel Brian Riddle, new down in FLRAA, as the product manager for the Development and Production and Product Management Office. So they put some new names on these things. I always like you guys with your cool new names. Doesn't really roll off the tongue, but regardless, we welcome you, Brian. And Colonel Phillips led a fantastic ceremony. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it, where we bid farewell and thanked Jeannie Conlon, Lieutenant Colonel P. Jeannie Conlon, for all her work that she had accomplished over the last 3.5, almost approaching 4 years down there at FLRAA. So hats off to you all. Also, we welcomed Lieutenant Colonel Amanda Watkins. We've been long awaited. Her arrival down into UAS replaced Tim Gerhardt in that office. Very excited to have you on board. Missed that ceremony as well, unfortunately, but know it went well. We appreciate Colonel Anderson welcoming you and Amanda and to your family. Welcome aboard. It's great to have you back in Huntsville. And then also Lieutenant Colonel P. Joe Minor, welcomed aboard yesterday. Was that yesterday? All the days are running together. Tuesday, plus or minus yesterday. To our fixed wing, so it was fantastic to welcome him, his wingman Jackson, and Krista, his wife. So it was fantastic to have him in the team. It's great to have you on board, Joe. We look forward to continued great things from you. He had most recently been at RTC, in command there at RTC. So welcome aboard to you, Joe, and to your family. And it was great to meet the rest of your family as well. So I think we are to pre-submitted and or see what we got for questions. It looks like we got one, and it looks like it's got Rodney Davis written all over it. Will the draining work include completing the work at the south end of building 5681, so land nav skills in play?
Yep.
Since they worked on that hydrant, that area no longer drains in heavy rain. So it sounds like the same issue. Maybe we were clever and fixed our drain and just moved the problem farther down the road.
So I think what happened was, so when we complained about it, right, they first said, oh, it's fine, right? So then they started doing some research. They ended up digging out the fire hydrant on the south end.
Okay.
Right. So then over a long weekend, they broke the fire hydrant in the middle. They got all that fixed, and we had a hydraulic leak as well, right? They solved all that. But I think that's all tied together, right? So that drainage problem does end at the south end of the building.
Okay.
So that should clean up that whole area.
Okay.
Right. So, but we will make sure.
So time will tell. In Town Hall number 32, we will lead with an update on that hydrant, and or hopefully we get some good rain, not tomorrow.
We were all standing outside yesterday watching it rain, making sure we can make it across the parking lot. So yeah, we were very interested in that.
Okay, fantastic. So we will file that one away. We also got one on Vera VSIP. Will PEO Aviation offer a Vera VSIP? So I'll take that one, and the answer is no. We will not be. There are no plans at this time to offer a Vera VSIP here in PEO Aviation. So thank you for that question. And as ever, if there's others folks have, you're welcome to pass those along to us. I don't see anything else hitting on the machine, so I'll turn it over to you. We can wrap up, and maybe we'll actually finish one of these things on time.
All right, sir. I appreciate being here with you and being here with the team. Appreciate what you felt about me to put me in this position. Actually, Mr. Mason, right? Big shoes to fill, but I'm trying to get up to speed. I'm 5 years behind, but I'm pedaling quick, right? So, but again, I appreciate it. And I appreciate what everybody in the workforce does for our Army and our soldiers, right? That's why we're here.
Well, we appreciate you stepping up in this acting role, Ron. It's very important. for the team, and of course, long-term partner, and look forward to continued great things from you, brother. So a reminder as well, in a reminder category, it's Anti-Terrorism Awareness Month. So Liz has done a great job making sure that's communicated to everyone. But it boils down to, we've all heard it, if you see something, say something. So the old adage of don't walk by something that makes a little voice in your head say something, and not carry forward in figuring out why the little voice in your head said that. So across the board, in addition to our anti-terrorism training that of course we're accomplishing in this year, just keep your mind on the fact that the reason we do these events where there's a month dedicated to something is to re-energize your thought process and to realize that there are people out there who want to bring harm on us, and it's our job collectively to make sure that we recognize that and report anything we see. Also, to my counterparts right across the board, this week is pretty crazy. We've got Major General Rash changing out to recently promoted Brigadier General Frank Lozano, an old friend of mine, who will be taking over at PEO Missiles and Space. And then General Rash confirmed for promotion, and eventually will be replacing General Thurgood over in Richto, so more to follow on timing on that one. But we're thrilled for General Rash and to welcome General Lozano. I already mentioned that General McCurry officially on board and promoted, so congratulations to Mac, another long-term friend, and we're excited to have him down at Fort Rucker, and we wish all the best to Major General Francis as he heads over to Europe. And then General Royer in the theme of the rest of the week. Tomorrow, after our ceremony, General Royer will be changing out with then Major General Tom O'Connor will be taking over at Aviation and Missile Command. So again, that ceremony is at 9:30 over at Bob Jones for those who can attend that. And to the entire, so a very busy week, and then I will actually be heading off with our middle son Jack Berry to head to Irvine, California on Sunday. So I'll be taking my 10 days to make sure the Army is satisfied with my leave. But in addition to that, getting a chance to see my mom and dad out there in San Diego. So Ronnie, we'll throw you right into it. You can take over, do great things for the PEO while I'm gone, and look forward to some time with both the family and dropping Jack Berry off, keeping my lovely wife Debbie sane as our second departs the house, and poor Molly will be down to just one in the house, so we'll see how Molly reacts to all of the collective attention of both Rob and Debbie. So that'll be fantastic. Rodney mentioned the ceremony. Everyone's welcome, but I do want to say, so long as the weather's good, we're going to be outside. I mentioned the chicken mini biscuits, so we will endeavor to do the ceremony with alacrity, but it will be outside. There'll be some folks under, but everyone's welcome, right? If you want to come stand, we should be relatively quick, but the message, if you're unable to make it, the message will be just a simple thank you to everyone for it. I'll certainly wear the rank on behalf of everyone with whom I've ever served, and I mean that when I say it, so that'll be the message tomorrow, so if you're unable to make it, you just heard a summary version of what will get put out tomorrow. So appreciate everything you all do every day. It's our honor to serve with you. We look forward to our next opportunity to engage, and giddy up.
Put this one-star stuff behind us.
Right. Everyone take care.